Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tristan Steckler, and I've personally closed well over $7 million in high ticket. Also managed teams that are doing 200K, 300, 500, $1 million a month. Work with hundreds of closers, reviewed thousands of hours of calls, and taken thousands of calls at this point. So if you want to get better at high ticket, I want you to watch this video all the way until the end. Take notes and implement on your sales calls. Enjoy. It'll be fun. Let's do it.
Cool. I see you're on your iPhone, right?
Yeah, I couldn't get it on my computer.
You couldn't get on your computer, you're saying?
I
Oh,
couldn't
you
get
can fast
the Zoom on
forward.
my.
Because
You
you had
get
to get it
on
on the computer. Yeah, there you go.
And sorry, not what you want it to be.
No, nope, not at all.
Okay. So what's missing in that field?
Okay, hold on.
Now for 13 years, like I got started when I was 22, and nobody invests $149 one time and suddenly starts making $10,000 a month from their laptop, right? So like that would be more like a movie than real life,
Yeah.
right? So you can probably get set up, right? Learn the basics, right? But the basics doesn't pay you,
Just for context for everybody, Colton has a initial call with the prospect that's done by his sales team where they downsell into a, is it still 97 or is it 197?
149.
149 product. It's a 2 hour course.
Yeah, two
Or
and a
so.
half hours.
2.5 hour course, and then they are upsold onto this call with Colton. And the opening frame is essentially just downplaying the fact that they spent a little bit of money on themselves. So they can't come in with the mentality of I've invested in myself and like I'm going to get there no matter what. He just resets the expectation by saying something to the effect of just because we pay for the ticket to the football game doesn't mean that we're going to get paid the quarterback salary. Right. So it's the idea is we got people who sit in the stands and we got people on the field. So this conversation is about you going from sitting in the stands to being on the field. Okay. That's how we got here.
$10,000 a month. So if you're trying to go far, that's where mentorship comes in, right? That's where hand holding, that's where, one-on-one access to somebody who has the results. Kind of that's what this calls for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, so Thomas, he kind of gave me some notes on the call that you guys had yesterday, and I do know some things do get lost in translation, so I don't want to assume anything. But these are some of the main things that he did share, and I just want to, make sure that we're on the same page. And let me know if I'm off track, or on track, or if I'm like way off. Sound good?
Yeah.
So currently for work, you're in construction framing, right?
Yep.
Okay. And how long have you been working there for?
Just over a year.
Okay, 1 year.
Mhm.
And sorry, not what you want it to be.
No, nope, not at all.
Okay. So what's missing in that field?
Um, just like overall like freedom in what I want to do, and having like more time, and obviously pay.
Yeah, because I see with pay, they're only paying you about 30.
What does freedom mean for you specifically? What does freedom mean for you? So it's a small thing, but I just don't want to get in the habit of taking a broad generalized statement and just running with it. Because freedom for him is different than freedom for the next guy. And if he gives me a surface level answer, I'm like, no, dude. Let's go deeper. And you can do that because you're the owner. Like I can look at a guy on a sales call if he comes on with ego talking to me, and I'm like, hey, dude, ego's cool, not with me. You want to have this call with me? No ego. Comprende? I can do that. Okay. So use that to your advantage.
$200 a month.
Yeah, I would say that's at the top.
Yeah. Is that enough?
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to have that freedom with.
Okay. So you keep saying, yeah. You see that?
What should I say
Yeah.
instead? I hear you, or
What makes you say that?
$3,200.
So watch.
no,
Do,
I heard it. It did sound a
and
lot
having like more
Yeah. We don't want to assume anything.
okay.
Nothing.
time, and obviously pay.
'Cause
Yeah.
I want him to elaborate. He wants freedom. What does freedom mean to him? What does that look like?
Yeah, because I see with pay, they're only paying you about $3,200 a month.
Yeah, I would say that's at the top.
Yeah. Is that enough?
At the top. How do you mean? Is that enough? No, it's not. What makes you say that? Deeper, deeper, deep. Why do I want to go deeper with the prospect, guys? Why do I want to go deeper with the prospect?
Get them to put their guard down so you can get more leverage.
Yes. Open them up. Open them up gives me the context, gives me the leverage, allows me permission to reframe how they think.
Enough?
No.
Yeah.
What makes you say that? It's not? Curious tone? And this is not one of those Jeremy Minor, like you can just tonality your way into closing people. That's not what I'm saying. But be curious, be genuine. Genuine. Curiosity. If I feel like someone's genuinely curious about me in any situation, I'll be open with them. You ever meet someone for the first time and it's so refreshing to talk to someone who's genuine, empathetic, present, concerned, curious. Same thing on these calls.
I mean, it's hard to have that freedom with $3,200 a month in 2025 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, if you live with your parents, it's not hard. If mom and dad pay your bills, it's not hard. So that's why I would ask, well, what makes you say that 3,200 isn't enough? What made you say that 3,200 was on the high end? What does it look like normally? What causes the fluctuation? All these questions we can ask to get clarity.
And you said you're living with your parents right now?
Yep.
So what makes them say 3,200 isn't enough?
Yeah. And I'm guessing that's not the ideal living situation,
I'm guessing.
Nope.
right?
Not at all.
Okay. So
What makes you say that? So recurring theme 6 minutes in is assumptions. You see that, Colton?
Yeah.
Because when we make assumptions, we say, hey, dude, I totally understand. Makes perfect sense. You start moving him down the conveyor belt. Wham! Objections. Doesn't trust you. Defense comes up. Walls caving in around him. You're trying to take advantage of me. All of that because we're not challenging them. We're not pressing them. We're not getting the insecurities out. We're not getting the fears out. We're not reframing how they view the world. We're not holding them accountable ultimately. We'll see where this conversation goes, but that's the biggest thing that I pick up on so far.
where would we rather be at?
Like living situation, I've always wanted to live somewhere warm. You know, I'm in Wisconsin, it's like 30 degrees right now. Not
Yeah.
very, can't do a lot when it's that cold outside, but like Tennessee, Georgia, always wanted to move there
Mhm.
or have a house there or something in that area. But
Yeah. And it says $10,000 a month, right? That's kind of like the goal that you want to hit.
yeah,
Okay. Like, yes, it's here, Tennessee and Georgia too. And that's been a goal of yours for about 2 years.
so I would say I would say 2 years ago, I started seeing like all the online stuff and things you can do. And I'll tell you the past year, I've looked into it more and like stuff with like AI and that realm. I just haven't taken it gone forward with the next step.
Yeah. So what do you think's prevented you from doing more?
Yeah. So that's the right question. However, he said, I just haven't taken the step. Instead of saying what prevented you from doing more, you would just keep that connection by asking, what prevented you from taking the step? What prevented you from taking the step? Because that's what he said. Because when you say what prevented you from doing more, his logical brain could go into, well, I got so many hours with work and I got all these responsibilities and I got all this, blah, blah, blah. But that wasn't what you were asking. You just want to ask what kept you from taking the step. He says 2 years, 24 months. Don't just brush over that. 2 years is 24 months. That's a long time. Why would I do that?
Build the gap.
Build the gap. Build the urgency. Hold his feet to the fire. Hold him accountable. Right? This is a more extreme example, but say your buddy comes to you and he's been cheating on his wife for 10 plus years. And he comes to you and he's been rationalizing and kind of coping with it. And he just looks at you and he goes, yeah, I've had some issues cheating on my wife. It's not a big deal. You'd be shocked. Cheating on your wife. Although this is not the same scenario, you need to make it feel as though it's the same to build urgency. 2 years, dude? 2 years. And we're like, yep, makes sense. Why haven't you done more? See that, Colton? It's the small things. Christian Butler.
Yeah, I remember I had a call and the time frame that they gave me was 5 years. And then I used like the extended time frame. I was like, that's like 60 months. That's not a yesterday thing. And they kind of like pulled back. They were like, yeah, yeah. And I kind of pulled back right away and I was like, well, I'm not trying to dig at you. Should I have just kind of let it sit instead?
Yeah, stop
Yeah.
talking. Because what they'll do is they'll start trying to defend it,
Yeah.
usually. I'm like, my friend, we can take two paths from here. We can defend it and rationalize why we didn't do more, or we can just take ownership for it.
Right.
Who do you want to be?
More.
Like thought of failing, even though like you have to
It's always the objection every single time, every single call.
fail, you know, procrastination.
What's your definition of failure? What's your definition of failure?
Mine?
No, this guy.
Oh.
What's your definition, Colton?
Having my son look at me when he's 3 years old. So when he's like 14 and 15, he starts to understand. He's like, Dad, why don't you have the life that you've always said you wanted? And failure to me would be like, I didn't try. If I don't have the life that I wanted for myself, but I'm like, hey, son, like I gave it everything I got. Like I invested in the courses, I tried, I sacrificed, I gave up watching you play sports to get us to this life we wanted, and I couldn't get there yet. I'm still trying. I wouldn't think that's me being a failure. Being a failure is like, yeah, I'm scared and I didn't do anything and I didn't try my hardest. That would be a failure in my eyes.
What do we call people like that? Starts with a C.
Coward.
Yeah,
Calculated.
coward. So then we start using frames. We can be the coward, label it coward, just like I label overthinker. It's just cowardice compared to courageous. Both start with a C. Two C's. Cowardice, courage. Identities. Who do you want to be? Jason?
Would you call him out like right there on the spot with that? Or like, and if you would, like, how would you go about doing that right then and there at this point in the call?
Well, the main thing, the reason you could not call him out right now is because we keep transitioning. We're not probing to get pain out of the person we're talking to. And we're not allowing them to feel the weight of the conversation. If we had, then we would have permission. Every time you pull that hood up and you keep cranking it up until it's all the way up, you're getting mental real estate. You're getting leverage in their mind to be able to change the way they think. But if you do that too quick, realize this, you'll see this in the call that I posted in the community under that overthinker section. One of the closers says something, and he said it was, what he said was, me and my buddies were hanging out together the other night, and one of our friends had put on some weight. Like he's been overeating. He's got a stomach or a tummy now. And one of our buddies called him out for it. But he didn't get offended. He took it very well. That's what he said. I said, hold on. Why did he take it well? Why did he take it well? Who's got the answer?
Does he earn the reward?
Rapport? What's a
Because he
better word?
has-
Trust?
is it-
Trust. When someone that you trust tells you the truth, it lands. These prospects do not trust you yet. You've just met. So if you're not patient with them and you're not empathetic, you're not building any form of connection with the person through lovingly holding them accountable to what they're telling you that they want, then offense comes out. Don't say that about me. I'm not overweight. I'm a hard worker. I'm providing for my family. How dare you? That's a projection. It's a projection because I know you're right, but I don't know you enough yet. So I'm offended, even though it's the truth. There's this guy, you guys may have seen him on social media. His name is Julian. He does a lot of speaking from stage. It's all about communication, public speaking, psychology. And there was a video that he posted that went viral where he looks into the audience. There's a woman sitting on the front row and he goes, "I hate your blue hair. I hate it." And everyone in the crowd is laughing. They're laughing because her hair isn't blue. And so the point is, if it's not true, it won't affect you. If I said, "Jason, you're a terrible setter," it wouldn't do anything to you. You'd be like, "I'm not a setter, I'm a closer." It would have no effect. But when we poke the bear and it's the truth, and we're not sharing it in love and we don't have the leverage, they get offended, and that's okay. But if they get offended and they porcupine on me and they get all agitated and they want to control the conversation, that doesn't have anything to do with me. Now, maybe looking back at the conversation, we didn't layer our questions well enough. We weren't patient enough, and they could tell the way we delivered the question that it lacked empathy. That's fine. But I have complete control on how I respond to that. Okay? Let's keep going.
Right. Procrastinating.
Why would someone procrastinate?
Fear of failure.
Fear of failure.
Yeah, just those two mainly.
Because think about it, Colton. If I help him to realize, just like we've seen on the calls of ETIs that I've posted, that everyone should have watched 15 times by now. I'm not just posting them in there just to post them. My goodness. I'm posting it in there so that you study, so that you learn, so that you make more money. I don't give everyone on here 3 calls a week plus just to do it. I do it so that you make more money, because that's my job, is to help you do that, and that alone. That alone. So, with this kid, being that he lives with his parents, being that he's making $3,200 a month, I have to help him realize that it can't get much worse. It cannot get much worse. Because worst case scenario, he makes an investment in himself and it doesn't pan out the way he thought it would, and he still has his parents paying all of his bills. Would you look at that? Still at base camp, still at ground zero. That's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, even if the program doesn't work out the first month, which it probably won't, because that's not how life works. He's got his parents paying his bills. He's resourceful and resilient. He continues to put the left foot after the right foot. He hits his goal. Then at that point, no one has to tell him to show up. He just does it. But I have to be that leader for him to realize that that is exactly what will happen if he trusts himself. He has to trust himself. His lack of trust has nothing to do with me and everything to do with him. Just like the girl who goes on the date who's been cheated on and abused in the past, that has nothing to do with the guy she's going on a date with. That has everything to do with her past. Same thing with these people. The lack of certainty comes from somewhere. Sam.
I know you just said that like what is the fear of failure? Where does that come from specifically? Obviously, it's going to be somewhat differentiated towards the person, but broadly speaking, does fear of failure, in your opinion, all come from like societal enforcement of X person will judge me, or is it something else in your opinion?
Every single person on planet Earth has a fear of failure.
Yeah.
Every single person, including me, has a fear of failure. Every single person steps in front of a decision and that voice in their head gets louder and louder and louder. You won't be successful. Do it tomorrow. You're going to fail. You made the wrong decision. Eventually it'll work out. You don't need to do anything about it now. Every single person has that voice in their head every single time they're going after something worth going after. Every single time. And so in that moment, we have control over what we choose to do from there. You either cave, you're passive, you're a coward, or you step up. It's black or white. And the guy who sits in the middle and says, I'm just not going to make a decision right now, I'll do it later, that is a choice in itself to be a coward. There's no gray. There's no sitting on the fence. It's black or white. You're doing it or you're not. Every single choice, decision, commitment you make gets you a step closer or pushes you a step further away. That's it. So as long as you come into the call with that mentality, knowing that that is the truth, you don't view it as though this person is inadequate or this person, there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
You're trying to help them understand themselves better. That's why, speaking from personal experience, me being able to say, dude, I've done Zoom calls with 150 people on it. I've done in-person speaking on a public stage with 30, 50, 100 people talking about sales, talking about whatever, dude. The voice is always there. Every investment I've ever made, the voice is there. Every date I've ever been on, the voice is there. Every difficult decision that I've ever made, the voice is there. It never goes away. Ever. It never will. Ever. The lie is that it will. It won't. So what are you going to do? Are you going to step up or not? And you not stepping up for the last time frame, what has that cost you? What has that cost you? How much longer are you willing to wait?
Honestly, or just
Yeah.
being lazy. Yeah.
Yeah, let me just write those down
It's not laziness.
so we could touch on those. Lazy, procrastination.
Ditch those. It's not procrastination. It's not laziness. It's fear.
Would you just touch on it real quick or not even touch on it?
No.
Okay. Cool.
It's
I know, yeah, because I
anything-
know those are like surface level. Those aren't the real reasons. I was just wondering if you even just touch it, just to touch
Well, you
it.
can. You
okay.
can. You could say if I said here's $10,000, just take it.
Yeah, I did that. I think right now.
Would
I
you
was just curious.
procrastinate on taking it?
Yeah. I think I did that right now, just to touch it on it, but not like go deep. Obviously, I'm going to go deep on the fear. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he goes, no, I would take it. I'm like, okay, so it's not procrastination. What is it? That's why immediately, the second he says fear, I said, what's your definition of failure? Where am I going with that? Someone who's been here longer than a week? What's your definition of failure? Where am I going?
Are you aiming to figure out what the consequence is of lack of action?
Mm, not necessarily.
I think I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but it's the bicycle thing. It's like, hey man, like we're gonna fall, of course, if we start something new. But when we learn how to ride a bike, like what do we tell ourselves to do when we fall? We
Yes.
get back up.
Yep.
So is failing, us falling on a bicycle? Like failing is us falling on a bicycle and then saying, I am never going to try this again. I will never learn how to ride a bike.
Let me help you with that.
Okay.
That's exactly correct. So we want to go the analogy route? That's fine. That will work. Walk me back to the first time that you ever rode a bike. Did you fall? We all fell, dude. Everyone fell at least once. When you fell, what did you do? I got back up. Yeah, you didn't take the bike and find the nearest dumpster and throw the bike away, did you? No. Why not? That principle applies to every single thing you've done, you will ever do in your entire life. And you get to choose who you will be and how you will respond. So you're going to fall, just like insert personal story about you starting your own business, just like I did. But guess what, buddy? I've made all the mistakes so that you don't have to. That's what I'm here for. You will fall. And if you don't, you're not going after the right things. That's why we say any goal that can be achieved in your comfort zone is not a big enough goal. I will never forget the first sales manager that I ever had. I only knew him for 2 weeks because he quit. 2 weeks into high ticket. He said this and it stuck with me. Every single goal, dream, aspiration that you currently have, that you could ever have, is found right outside of your comfort zone. Every single one. That's the truth.
And fear, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, in the fear thing, like I get, right? Because if the results of achieving $10,000,
What is the fear? So, Colton, you're at a level, and I've said this in the past, where you know these word tracks. You know where you're headed. And what I need to like block out all the noise right now. Just hear what I'm saying. You now have permission to go way deeper with these people on their responses. Dig. You dig, you get the answers that you need that are missing. No assuming, just dig on what they're already telling you. And there will be more problems from there because that's uncharted territory. There will be more question marks, more uncertainty because there are levels to this. They're levels. So I'm giving you permission. Do it on every single one of your calls going forward.
So like what I've said here, just to give me like an example of like what's a good digging question. Just what you just said, pretty much. Like what's your definition
This
of failure?
whole 8 minutes would be radically different if you dug and probed and clarified and pushed him away on every response that he gave and did not assume anything. It would be a completely different conversation. Curious, questioning, and disagreeable. Disagreeable is, oh, you make 100 grand a month? Prove it. Prove it. Oh, you're an action taker? Prove it. You want to make 10K a month? Prove it. Like, show me the receipts. That should be the mentality. Not rude, condescending, demeaning, but you need to prove to yourself that this person is who they're presenting themselves to be. Because oftentimes they're not. And if they're not who they say they are, they need to own it. They need to own it. If they don't own it, we're not on the same page. There's not that connection there. There's not that trust there. They're not going to follow your lead. They're going to be resistant to the things that you're telling them.
$1 a month, we're guaranteed. Would you invest in yourself and start a business?
Oh, for sure.
Right. So it's like,
Yeah.
of course we wouldn't, right? But the tough part
Yeah.
about it though,
Why? So once again, push them away. Disagreeable. How do you mean? What makes you say that?
is that's the biggest thing that holds most people back from taking the step. It's the fear that the step you're taking isn't guaranteed to work out. And that's normal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like anything we do for the very first time that's important to us always brings about some type of nerves, right? Like, can you walk me through like a decision that you had to make in the past where you were doing
Because this is excellent word tracks. You're doing everything correctly and where you're headed. It's excellent. So you're like 6 out of 10. Skill, what brings you from 6 to 8 to 10 is the digging. Digging, probing, clarifying, challenging, reframing, understanding them.
something for the first time and it was really important to you and you weren't at all nervous. Like it was important. It was the first time you ever did it and you're like, nope, not nervous at all.
Probably like for baseball, like going to showcases or like college tryouts. Like for me,
You don't want to do not nervous at all, because then he's going to tell us about a situation where he wasn't nervous. Okay, so if you want to, instead of doing this where this little kid just messes up the reframe, you just ask him. You ever drove a car before? Like, do you have your driver's license? Yes. Just go straight in the analogy. Can you walk me back to the first time you ever drove that car, like your driver's test? You're sitting behind the wheel and got the guy in the passenger seat. He's got a clipboard. You're probably a bit nervous at that point. Would that be fair to say that? Then you go into the analogy.
for me, that was just like
Because he just messed it up.
I wasn't nervous at all. I was just there and I was ready to go.
How did you get to that point? That didn't happen overnight, did it? How old were you? 20? Okay. What about the first time you ever picked up a bat when you were like 10? What about that? You nervous?
Yeah, college because you played baseball a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not your first time trying out for a
Yeah.
team,
Yeah.
right? But like
Yeah.
anytime.
How did you get to that point?
But so what I'm just kind of trying to hint at is, yeah. So after you play, I mean, what year did you start playing baseball?
Probably like 5.
Okay, so after 15 years of playing baseball, you're like, all right, tryouts don't make me nervous, right?
Good job.
But
Yeah.
I'm guessing the first time, like you had a really big, important tryout that we were trying to make this legit team. I'm guessing, was there some type of nerves?
There was actually, yeah, I remember it.
Okay, cool. So kind of walk me through that first time. Like, what was that moment?
Good job.
I was probably like 10, maybe, probably younger. And it was for a club team. And my parents had to convince me to get out of the car because I was so nervous to go to the tryout.
Right? So nervous, scared,
Yeah.
right? And after actually taking that action
What if I told you that that was how you were supposed to feel?
and doing it, how did you feel afterwards?
Good, great. Yeah.
confident, courage,
Yeah.
brave, right? So would you say that overcoming
So you make this connection and then you go back to what he's already told you about seeing other online content creators like you posting content over the last 12 months. And I'm like, how is this any different? The feelings that you felt when you, because I don't even know what he got into. Like, did he get all the way to a sales call, get on the call and give an objection? Like, did he get that far? Or was it just research, analysis paralysis, overthinking, indecision? What was it? I don't know. But in my mind, I'm like, that feeling that you have, that voice that gets louder that tells you you can't do it, you won't be successful, they need to prove it to you, they need to guarantee it to you, and then you'll do it. That's what has us 24 months into this goal with zero tangible progress. What is that thought that's coming up for you? No future pace, no consequence, no perfect pitch, no Klarna plan. This is the only conversation that matters. Are we all crystal clear on that? Nothing else matters. You're not going to get them up to the top of the mountain and get a bunch of dopamine in their brain and they're just going to pull their credit card out. That's not how this works.
like that fear, was it worth it?
For sure.
Why was it worth
Yeah.
it?
Good job.
Because that year I ended up making that team, and without that, I wouldn't have got all the training or any of that I got for those 10 years after that. So yeah.
So if you would have allowed that fear to hold you back from taking action, would you have actually ever achieved all those goals, all those
No,
experiences?
probably not.
Yeah. So how is business any different?
It's not when you put it like that.
Yeah. And I think
What makes you say that it's not? Challenge.
you will fail in business.
Yeah.
You know, I think you have to like accept the fact that that's just the way it works.
Are you okay with that? You will fail in business. Are you okay with that? Are you willing to step up and do it anyway? I need to know a little bit more about what you do. No, you don't. You don't. Want to know why? Why does he not need to know what I do and how it works?
Because more information doesn't equal less hesitation.
Yes, and every single business model works, just like every single diet works. Because if we were selling a scam, we'd be in jail. So let's put that to the side. Every single business works because every single diet works because it's not the diet that makes the person lose weight. It's the person doing the diet that makes the diet work. It's not the gym that makes the person lose weight and get in great shape and have a six pack. You go in the gym January 1st, right around the corner. They're going to be overweight people. They're going to be people in incredible shape. They're all using the same equipment. What makes the difference? What makes a difference?
Consistency and execution.
Yes. So the question then becomes, will you be consistent and execute? Yes, I will. Will you raise your hand when you're struggling? Will you reach out for help when you don't know what to do? Yes, I will. So why wouldn't it work? Does everyone hear what I'm saying?
Right? Like I've failed a ton in business. And I'm guessing you learn how to like ride a bike.
Yeah.
Okay. So like when we're riding a bike and we're learning that and we fall, like what do we have to do?
Get back up. Try again.
We got to get back up and try again. Right. So it's like that's the same thing in business. Like we are going to fall, but we have to get back up and just keep
Dude, what changes the game? Tell a personal story. Why don't you tell one right now? Talk about in business, big obstacle you faced, failure you ran into, train
Oh, a
falls
couple-
off the track.
A
What
couple of
happened
mine, you're saying?
for you?
Oh yeah, I mean when I was 22 years old, I spent, about $6,000 to start my first business, and I made one sale my first year, and that one sale made me $50. And then yeah, I remember I was driving to because obviously 13 years ago when I got started, there was no online advertising, so you had to do things in person. So I remember I'm driving to one of my my prospects homes to do like an in-person presentation. And I had so much like stuff in my car. My car was like a salvaged car. If you guys don't know what that means, it's like cars like they're just like the crappiest cars in the world. And I had so much weight in my car that it ended up when I went over the speed bump, it popped all my shocks in my car, and I didn't have the money to fix it. So yeah, so I already lost probably like 3 or 4 grand because of all the marketing you had to do with your business and all the wasted time. And then I just popped all my shocks in my car, which cost me about $1,700 to fix. So that was my first year in business while I'm living in a garage, my friend's garage.
Yeah. And so in that moment, you had a choice to make, just like everyone does, just like everyone always will have a choice to make. Because life isn't just happening to you.
Oh, I gotta add one more just for all the young guys on here. Then Thanksgiving happens, and my dad pulls me, wants to make a statement in front of my whole family, calling me a fool in front of my whole family.
Hmm.
Get emotional. And he's like, "You're an idiot, Colton." Like my whole family, like, "Hey, everyone, Colton's an idiot. He started this business. He's a fool. He's selling snake oil. He's a scammer. Just get a real job, Colton. Go back to school." And I was so embarrassed. I didn't even know what to say. But it was my goal. I'm like, I'm gonna make more money than my dad. Watch this. And then literally the second year of my business, like I think I was like 3 years in, I started making more money than my dad at 25 years old. Made $192,000 when I was 25, and my dad only makes 180K. And I was like, boom, suck it. So now, yeah, now it's like, thank you, Dad, for giving me that emotional trigger that I needed to really work my business hard.
Dude, if you don't use that on every single sales call for the rest of your life, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because think about it. Every single person on this call has been in that situation more times than they can count. Maybe you're in that situation right now. Imagine if he's sitting at that dinner table and he takes everything that his dad says personally and he quits. After the first coaching program that I joined, which I told my twin brother about and one other buddy of mine, invoices paid. I'm crapping my pants. No idea if I got scammed. Nobody's sitting there reassuring me I made the right decision. I close the laptop, I go upstairs, and I look at my twin and I say, I just spent $6,000 on this coaching program. Who would like to guess what his response was?
Or I thought you were insane.
You got
You're
scammed, bro.
an idiot. You're an idiot. Moron. Look at me now. That was 4 years ago. Screw him, dude. And if you live life that way and you hold yourself to that standard, I take advice from people who are where I want to be. Anyone below that, doesn't matter. And leaders are willing to step into the unknown without a guaranteed path of success. When you make decisions that way, and your prospects come on the call and they don't think that way, and we're not going to shame them for it, We hold them to the standard of who they want to be, not who they are right now. Last night we were at dinner and someone at the table, we're all in high ticket, right? All these people have been in high ticket for 3 to 4+ years. One of the guys sitting at the table is a multimillionaire. Okay. From online coaching. Someone asked the table to go around saying everything we like about that person. We went person to person to person to person. What was said about me, the main thing that stuck out was disciplined, consistent standards. Discipline, consistent standards. What was said was everyone who comes in contact with you becomes better. When you look at yourself and you look in the mirror and you look at your life and you measure that up to who you want to be, what you want for yourself, what you want for your family, for your kids, who you want them to be, all of that is within your control. All of it. Because if it's not, then I just got here by luck. And I can tell you at 5 in the morning or 4:30 in the morning when that alarm goes off, it ain't luck. So be a sponge in this environment, because if you listen to what I'm telling you to do and you internalize it and you implement it, you will become a better leader, more decisive, more consistent, more disciplined, bigger risk taker, and everyone around you will become better as a byproduct of that. And anyone who's known me for a long time can attest to that. But I didn't get here overnight. And neither will you. But Colton, I felt the emotion from that story. I would strongly encourage you to use that on your calls and in your content. Maybe not if your dad's following you. You know what I mean?
Trying and figuring it out. Because like, what's actually riskier, right? If our goal is to go to Tennessee or Georgia, right, make $10,000 a month, go somewhere that's warmer, stop living with our parents, right? If that's our goal, right, and we're here right now, like, what's actually riskier? Like staying where we're at, like hopefully they give me a 5% pay raise every year, which, you know, rent's got to go up 5% and gas and, you know, the cost of everything keeps going. So is it riskier staying where we're at or picking a new path, learning something new? And what business really is? It's a new skill set. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure like there was one day you didn't know how to do framing, right?
Yeah.
Well, framing can only pay you so much money. It's a capped, right? So business it's not capped.
Yeah.
So like my best month is $172,000.
Telling is selling. Everything that you say will be viewed through the lens and perspective of prove it. Prove it. Every single person is going to say, that sounds amazing. That sounds great. Prove it. If I enable him to view the world through that lens, that people need to convince him, I failed.
I'm confused what you're saying there. So what do you mean?
Who knows what I'm saying that can explain it?
Do I need to show my bank statement or something?
No.
Okay.
No, that would be proving it to him.
Okay.
Once again. That's why I said earlier, I don't need to tell you what I do and how it works.
Yeah.
You're the one who's been looking at all the content. You're the one who's been dumpster diving in all the DMs and all that stuff. The YouTube videos, the Instagram reels. The only reason you're on the call and you didn't just ask for a payment link is because you think that I need to prove it to you. or guarantee it to you. I can't do that. No one can. No one will ever be able to guarantee you success. So that's a mindset that has to be reframed. Only thing I need to convince you of is the fact that your choices, your decisions, your indecision has put you in paralysis and handcuffed you to where you're at right now. So what do you want to do? Two paths. Path you're currently on with XYZ pain point, frustrated, stressed, anxious, doubting, confused. That's one path. And then where you want to be. XYZ, goal achieved, benefit, confidence, certainty, leadership, action, overcoming fear. They're both hard, but you get to choose which one you want. So what's it going to be?
Dollars in 30 days. What are your thoughts on that?
That's what I want.
Yeah. And there's also people who make a lot more than me in business too.
Yeah.
Because it's a skill set thing. Right? So like the better you are at like the skills of business, the more you can make. So is it riskier like staying where we're at, not learning any new skills, not investing in mentorship, or trying something new, starting a new challenge, learning a new skill set to ultimately get to where we want to go? If that's where we're trying to get to, like what's actually riskier?
Stay where you're at.
And why do you say that?
Because you can't just stay at the same place that you're always at and be like comfortable in the position you are, but not like comfortable financially or in that position. Like comfortable with where you're working, what you're doing, who you're seeing.
But you can. That's what you've done for 2 years. So why did you say you can't? Because you just did for 24 months. What about the 24 months?
And just staying in that realm your whole life, because that won't get you anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of like the last 24 months. If you could not do that, then why did you just do it for 24 months?
Because is it cool if I'm like real with you on this call?
Yeah.
Okay. Because when I was 22, I got started with this, and all of my friends and my family didn't agree with me. What are your thoughts on that? You doing something that's the opposite of what your parents think you should be doing.
Tell that story that you just told us. Depth.
If I felt it was the right thing, I would go with it. Go all in.
How do you know when it's the right thing, buddy? How do you know when you found the right program? How do you know when you found the right coach? Is it that they spend 15 hours explaining every single nook and cranny of what they do and how it works so that you're guaranteed success? Is that what it is? Pilot on the plane. Hey guys, I know that y'all have connecting flights and you're going to be late and y'all are going to have to spend more money on all these extensions for flights, but I've never flown on a plane before. I'd really like to just sit down with the pilot for an extra 5 hours so he can explain what every single button in the cockpit does. Sound good? Nope. Get out. Goodbye. That's how that would work. So 14 minutes, we know everything that we needed to know, I would say. And sadly, I went too long. I wanted to get some takeaways, but I have to jump to another meeting. But you guys know what to do. Go through the trainings, implement, role play, practice. Do what I'm telling you to do. Make more money. Help some people. Have fun. Later, boys.